Yeah. Hello, I'm so glad you guys are here today. So, we got a lot of stuff that I want to get done today. I'm not quite sure if it'll actually all get done today, but I've got a lot of things I want to do. I just got done pumping and feeding Miss Athena, so I'm about to go put her in her jumper so she can play for a little bit. That way I can tidy up in here. I have a chiropractor appointment in about 2 hours. But then I also really want to make some cookies today that I can prep and throw into the freezer. So I'll have like pre-made cookies. I want to make blueberry muffins. And then I'm making tequila lime chicken tonight, which so good. I have not had tequila lime chicken in a while, but it is absolutely amazing. I'm also PMSing, so that might be why the food is all on my mind, because like last night I was scrolling and everything looked delicious, which is why today I'm like, ooh, cookies, muffins, all the things. Oh, and I want to make some fresh bread to go with dinner. So, and then obviously the regular stuff. Mom and Dad's dogs just left yesterday, so the dog room I want to clean up in there, just strip the couches, clean the floors, all the things. Yeah, just a little bit of everything today. So if you have a little one, I highly, highly recommend these little jumpers. Athena loves this thing. Out of any toy we have, this is her absolute favorite thing. So it takes up a good amount of space, but definitely I would look into it. This is the Jolly Jumper. Now, I got mine on Facebook, and I recommend looking on there first. I believe these are like $100, $120 brand new. I found so many of these just on Facebook Marketplace in great shape for way cheaper. Honestly, when it comes to anything for babies, I always recommend checking out Facebook first, just purely because babies grow out of stuff so quickly that often you can find really nice things in really good shape for half to less than half of what it normally costs. But I was just giving her room a quick little tidy, wanted to change her sheets and everything and just clean stuff up. This room doesn't get super messy, but it does get really cluttered just for the pure fact of she's got a lot of big things that when out, it makes everything a little bit more chaotic. Also, if you notice, we had our chair in there that used to be, well, actually, it used to be in the family room. Then we moved it into our sunroom, and now it is in Athena's room. I don't know what to do with this chair because I love it so much. I really don't want to get rid of it. But since we got Bobby and I the new massage chair, I really don't need it. So for now, it's sitting in Athena's room because we do know in about a year, Athena will move into the same room as Freya. And then this room will end up being like a office/guest bedroom for Bobby and I, and then I might want it in there. So I'm just kind of holding on. We all struggle a little bit with decluttering sometimes, and that chair is my area that I am struggling with because it's super comfortable. I love the way it looks, and yeah, just having a hard time letting go. But as you can see, I just quickly ran into the laundry room. I had someone ask me the other day if my clothes get wrinkled when I leave them in the basket. So I do try and put stuff away same day, but because we actually hang most of our stuff, that even if it is a little bit wrinkled, it usually, when it's hanging, all the wrinkles fall out. I don't know if that's because of the fabrics we buy or what it is, but I usually don't have too big of issues. And then into our room, I actually had to take a break and pump and everything. So now I'm just quickly cleaning up all of that stuff. That's why this area gets so crazy at night is I still wake up in the middle of the night to feed the baby and pump and everything. So my nightstand definitely is hot wreck pretty much every single morning because I don't know about you. If you are a breastfeeding mama or pumping mama or whatever, I get so thirsty and hungry in the middle of the night when I am pumping that, yeah, that area just gets a little bit crazy. I always have like snacks in my nightstand. I always have my huge water bottle and all the things. But I love starting the day making my bed. I feel like when you make your bed, one of the reasons it's the best thing to do is one, if you don't do anything else in your room, it's going to make your room feel so much more put together by just making your bed, but also a little 5-minute task that you get a lot of satisfaction. As someone that is neurodivergent, one thing you have to do is get a task that's going to give you that like huge dopamine, oxytocin type hormone boost. And making my bed is one of those ways that I get that, and it'll get me motivated to get the rest of the stuff done throughout the day. I know I mentioned last week I am working on getting better at just doing 5-minute makeups in the morning. Not every morning, but every once in a while. It's one of the things that I'm trying to put into just habit because I do find that spending a little bit of time on myself every day does make me feel a lot better. All right, so one thing I have been trying to do lately is just spend like 5 minutes in the morning doing my makeup. You guys know me, I'm not huge into makeup, but we are on this wellness journey of just feeling better about ourselves, losing weight, getting healthier. We're done having babies, so it's time to focus on me. And everyone tells me that just doing 5 minutes in the morning of your makeup can just change your entire day. So even though I'm not normally one to do this, I've definitely been trying to do it more often. I still don't do it every morning, but at least a couple times a week. I'm trying to do it like 5 out of 7 days a week. I at least get up and spend a little bit of time to do my makeup. It really isn't that hard. So I'll show you the stuff I'm currently using, but I also want to try the Merit Beauty. So if you guys have tried that, it looks super simple. It's got a lot of the cream bases that I like. And that is actually coming maybe this week, maybe next week. I'm not sure, but I'm excited to try it. But yeah, just 5 minutes to kind of reset. And it has been nice. It's been nice just doing a little bit of makeup, nothing too crazy, because you're not going to see fake eyelashes and 20 minutes doing my eyebrows and stuff like that. That's just not who I am. But just a super simple, quick, and easy makeup.
You were the type that eclipsed the room. I was the one who arrived too soon. But no one would ever bet against us. If they saw us exchanging glances, I was too busy to fall in love. You were too busy to break my heart.
However, I do think it's really important when you do stuff like that is also take just a couple minutes to quickly wipe down your counters and everything and put your stuff away. It really doesn't take that long. And one thing, so I asked in my last video, loved cleaning products and most hated cleaning products or projects. And one of the big ones was cleaning the bathroom. Now, of course, cleaning the toilet's never fun, especially if you have children. Like, I don't mind our bathroom too much, but I definitely get when you have kids, like the bathroom just gets extra gross. But another big thing though, if those projects you really don't like doing, and this is going to sound like the complete opposite of what you want to do, but do them more often and just little spurts here and there, it makes the job a lot easier. So when I'm done in the morning, if it's putting makeup on or if it's just doing my normal skincare routine, I do try and make sure that I quickly tidy up the bathroom afterwards. That way it never gets to be like a huge overwhelming task that I really, really don't want to do. Now, I will say there are still areas that get put off way more than I would like, but that's going to be in anybody's house. One of those being like our shower. I really have to get into our shower and give it a really good scrubbing again and wipe down the glass and everything. But that is one of the projects that I don't love doing, showers and bathtubs. And I think it's more of I end up sore afterwards. Like you're just in weird angles, using muscles that you don't normally use to scrub them. So I definitely need to get that done, but I feel ya. Bathrooms are definitely an area that isn't too fun. But I wanted to pick up the rug. That way I could send the robot vacuum in here. I actually had to go to the chiropractor today and just get that stuff done. I have been doing so much better though since going to the chiropractor. I don't know if I mentioned, but after having Athena, I had this really bad pinched nerve in my back. It was horrendous. Every time I sat down, it just wouldn't go away. So I started going to the chiropractor and now it's a million times better. I actually had Athena going to the chiropractor also because when she was born, she had like really bad gas and everything. So she got much better after that. So I go every other week. And Athena still goes about once a month, but we're probably going to drop that to just as needed at this point because she's been completely fine. But I love the chiropractor. I feel like it's one of those things. Now, I do think you have to find a good chiropractor and really make sure you do your research because chiropractor is one of those things that if you go to a bad chiropractor, it can not be a good thing. But if you find a good chiropractor, it can change so many things. Like I swear by them with certain things. And you guys know Bobby's got really bad back and knees and all those things. So he goes on a regular basis to keep up with all of that stuff as well. So I was looking up the other day how to make punchkis. So growing up in Milwaukee, we have a huge Polish community up there. And I don't know if I've ever mentioned, but my maiden name ends in ski. So I am also very Polish. And Fat Tuesday is right around the corner. And up there, there's so many amazing, good Polish bakeries that you could get fresh punchkis on Fat Tuesday. Well, since moving to Florida, they really aren't down here. Pretty much like if you go to Costco, they're just jelly donuts. And there is a difference between like a filled donut and a punchki. So I am going to try my hand at making my own because I have been wanting them. If you guys have never had them, so it's a lot like a donut, just a little bit different in the ingredients that are used in the dough. And then usually they're filled with, I think traditionally it's like a plum, but personally I always preferred the cream and lemon curd filling, and the kids always preferred the strawberry jam filling. So I think I'm going to try that tomorrow. If you are Polish and like from Poland or have a good old recipe that is very traditional, let me know. I've looked some up online, but because I've never made them, I'm not 100% sure if it's going to be a good recipe or not. I would love your recipes because I want to make those tomorrow. It's one of those things of 3 years down here, and I still have not found a true punchki. Now that the kitchen is straightened up, I am going to make some blueberry muffins. Ooh, good. Freya agrees. So 2 bowls, 1 for wet, 1 for dry. I'm gonna start with the dry though. Hopefully this bowl is big enough because my big bowl is full of fruit salad in my fridge. So we'll see. But 2 cups of flour is gonna go in here. It's sometimes a little over 2 cups, so I'm just gonna add a little bit more. And then I'm gonna do a cup plus about 1/4 of sugar. 1 plus a little. And then you want about a teaspoon of salt. And then about 2 teaspoons of baking powder. Just give it a whisk to combine everything. And then we'll just set it to the side. Need 2 eggs. I like to do my eggs first because then I can make sure to whisk them well. Plus, I'm cracking them separately just because they are fresh eggs, not store-bought eggs. This just makes sure they're still good. I'm usually not worried about it, but man, I'd hate to have a whole recipe and then screw it up because the eggs. So, whisk those together. 1/2 cup of vanilla Greek yogurt. I did also melt a stick of butter or 1/2 cup of butter in the microwave, and now it's in the fridge because I don't want it hot when I put it in here. But about 1/2 cup of vanilla Greek yogurt. You can use plain Greek yogurt or sour cream as well. All right. Stick of butter, like I said, put that in there. I melted it and then put it in the fridge for a little bit. That way it could cool off. But then we're just gonna mix all of our wet ingredients before adding it into our dry ingredients. And then when it comes to milk, it usually takes about 1/2 cup, but I wait till this point because I like to eyeball it to see what consistency it's at because I don't like it to be too liquidy. So that's probably about 1/4 of a cup to start, and then I'll mix it together and then see if it needs that other 1/4 of a cup. But I don't like my muffins to get like super liquidy. There we go. That's the consistency I like. So oven is preheated to 425. Didn't add the blueberries to that yet. I just set it to the side. That way it can just kind of relax. I'm gonna make the best part of this. I'm gonna do about a cup of blueberries in here. We're gonna add some lemon juice to them. And then some sugar. Add about a tablespoon of sugar to these. And then we're just going to let them get to a simmer where they start bubbling and stuff, and then you're gonna mush them and break them. Just do like a blueberry compote or something. I don't know what you call it, but it's delicious. The next fun part is I have a stick of butter. We're gonna add some flour to this. This is probably about a fourth a cup of flour. I might add more, kind of play it by ear. And then we're gonna add some sugar. And then some brown sugar as well. Mix this all together. Probably gonna need more flour, but mix it and kind of see the consistency first. All right, so we got the crumble topping ready. Set that to the side. Here's what the blueberry compote looks like. I let it come to a boil and then just mushed it, and then we're just gonna let that sit, ovens off or stoves off and everything. And I need it to cool a little bit. So after I let it simmer for like another couple minutes on just the residual heat that's on the stove, I'm gonna take it off that residual heat. That way it can cool. All right, so everything has had plenty of time to sit because I had to pump. So it's been 30 minutes since I started this, but done here. So now I can actually finish the muffins and get them in the oven. So first thing first, I'm gonna take the batter and put them in each of these. Now this batter, you can, oh shoot. Oh, dang it. Never mind, hold on. See, I got distracted from pumping and now I'm forgetting like the most important part, the actual blueberries that goes in it. But what I was trying to say is you could put whatever you want in here. So strawberries, chocolate chips, whatever. But I'm trying to make blueberries muffins. So let's add a cup of blueberries. Try this again now that my blueberry muffins actually have blueberries in them. Actually, I'm gonna do 2 scoops per thing. Next step, you grab your little compote, stick that on top. You can use a toothpick and swirl it if you want to make it prettier. I'm just gonna stick it on top though. And lastly, your streusel mixture. I'm just going to crumble this a little more. In the oven at 425 for 10 minutes. Most of this I'm going to put in the dishwasher. However, I realized if I'm going to make bread, I do need my big bowl that's full of fruit. So the fruit is low enough, it'll fit in this bowl. So I have to wash that bowl by hand so that I can transfer, so that I can make bread to go with dinner. So just do a quick cleanup, wash that, and then I can start the bread.
Was it all just a dream, just all in my head? Floating rivers upstream, the things that you said. Tell me and be honest, tell me, did you know?
All right, it's been 10 minutes. So now I'm gonna drop this down to 375 for another 15 minutes.
Tell me, should I've known that you'd be leaving me so painfully quiet and slow? I try my best to move on, to let go.
Now I can start the bread. Okay, it's still warm. So you only want warm water, not hot water. I do 2 1/4. Almost. 2 1/4 cups warm water. And to that warm water, I'm gonna add 2 tablespoons of sugar, tablespoon and a half of yeast, couple tablespoons of olive oil, and then I set this to the side for 10 minutes so that the yeast can bloom. For my dry ingredients, I'm gonna start with 4 cups of flour, but as you're mixing it, it still seems super wet. This recipe can go up to 5 1/2. Just kind of have to figure it out, but I'd rather start with less and add. You want about 2 tablespoons of salt. And that is what a good bloomy yeast looks like. Nice and foamy. This all in here. I like to start with a spatula just till it starts to get combined and not so wet. And then I'll go in with my hands. All right, first half combined. I'm gonna add another cup of flour on top. I used to take this out and knead it on the counter, but I found that there's literally no reason to, so I just leave it in the bowl. Put the next cup on my hands. That way my hands are covered in the flour to help hopefully it not stick so bad. And then I just knead the remainder of this in. It may still be sticky at first. All right, that's about what I want. I just take it out for a second. Any excess flour, remove that. Oil my bowl. Plop it back in. And then I just set the cover on it and let it rise for an hour or 2 just till it doubles in size. All right, but my muffins are done. I'm gonna pull these out. And then check the bread. The bread's probably gonna need a little bit longer. Yeah, I'm gonna leave that in a little bit longer. And these just need to cool, but they look and smell delicious. So I did not get to making the chocolate chip cookies that I wanted to freeze off to put into my freezer on this day. So I have that still on my to-do list because I do really want to make a big batch. That way you can be like, just like if you go and get those like break apart Toll House, but have homemade chocolate chip cookies, it will be so good. I tried dumping this too soon and without scraping the edges, so it kind of made a mess, but we are not just going to toss this because that would be wasteful. Just gonna crumble it a little bit more. And then Freya wants a snack. So take some of the crumbles, put it in here. Take some of my fruit salad I made the other day. Put that on top. And some whipped topping. Need to toss out the bread portion, and I'll just cover this, and we'll do that later too. Freya, you want your treat?
It's good or not?
You're gonna try to see if it's good or not?
Yeah. I'm trying it.
You gotta stab it.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah? Here. Let's get some of the fruit along with some of the cake and some of the whipped cream. Let me know. Yum.
Sundown and salty cheese.
Those blueberry muffins, though, were so good. And even the crumble that I totally messed up in that loaf pan turned out really, really good. That was gone pretty quickly just because people were just like grabbing little bits and munching on it. But Freya really enjoyed it with the fruit and everything. She actually asked for a couple days. She specifically wanted cake and fruit. She was very, very pleased with that. But as you can see, I'm just tidying up the rest of the house, just doing a quick tidy. The nice thing is if you stay on top of things, it's never going to take you very, very long to get your house in order. Now, I'm not talking about deep cleaning or big project like decluttering and organizing projects, but just a quick reset. One of those things that'll have you mentally feeling so much better when your house is in order. So I just want to do that. And then going out into the dog's room, I try and wash this sofa about once a month. This is the sofa that the dogs spend the most time on. And Bailey's a big oaf. He gets things dirty. So that's why I love this sofa, though. I love that I can just take off the cushions, wash it, and it comes very clean and looking like brand new. So about once a month, I will pull this apart and I do a full wash on it. I like to add borax to it, the Tide powder, scent beads, all the things to get this smelling nice and looking nice. However, I did recently try KOE. I don't know if you guys have tried that yet. I have seen it all over my different socials about it being a really good deodorizer. And I have to say, it does work really, really well. We used it in our lanai area. Bobby's been working on cleaning outside. Actually, I've been working on cleaning outside also, but he's been doing the majority of it. And the dogs they don't realize the difference between the lanai and outside. When they go outside, most of the time they will go through the doggy door and go into the grass, but there are sometimes they just don't. They think the lanai is outside also, and it was just getting stinky back there, even though we rinse off the patio when they have accidents and things like that. It just still stunk. So I was trying to find a really good deodorizer that we could use because we have family coming into town the end of this month, which we're really excited about. It's Bobby's brother and his wife and their 2 girls. And last thing I want is the pool area to stink. And that KOE has worked really, really well. I'm going to try it in a couple different areas. I actually made a mister bottle of it to put on the furniture out in this room, just because if you have animals, there's going to be parts of your house that just smell. You may not realize it because we go nose blind to our house, but it is just natural. And if you're anything like me, you love your animals and it just doesn't matter. But it's still nice to find ways to either eliminate or prevent certain things like that. It's also why we love our air filters, the water air filters, is that helps with any odor and things. But that KOE, so far I have been very, very happy with it because one, it's not like overpowering. It just has a nice fresh scent to it, but it also doesn't feel like it's trying to cover something up. Like it actually feels like it's actually eliminating the odor and not like a Febreze. Febreze, and don't get me wrong, I enjoy Febreze, but Febreze kind of just smells like it's trying to mask something, where this actually does feel like it's eliminating the odor. As you can see though, my bread was ready to shaping. This is really easy. I always just push it down and then roll it up. Now I should have made this into 2 loaves, but I just didn't feel like it. So it made one giant loaf, but really this should be made into 2 loaves. I just didn't want to deal with shaping it into 2 of them, which honestly is just a lazy thing, but we love making fresh bread. What's funny is I didn't used to love baking all the time, but now the more I've done it, the more I'm really enjoying it. And fresh bread is something that if I made it every single day to go with dinner, my kids would be absolutely thrilled. After I put the slits in though, I cover it for about 30 minutes. It doesn't have to be covered for too long. And then after that, you give it a little egg wash and then bake it in your oven at, 375, 350? Now might be getting confused with the muffins. I want to say it's about 350 for about 30 minutes. Maybe I say here in the future. I can't remember. I might say how long I do it for. The tequila chicken. So I have water getting ready to boil back there, and then I'm going to be cooking up the sauce as well as the chicken and vegetables and everything. So multitasking at its finest with multiple pans, but this is one of my favorite recipes. So in the pan that I'm going to be putting the chicken and vegetables, I'm putting 2 tablespoons of butter, as well as the pan that I'm going to be making the sauce, and I'm going to let that melt down. Now the one thing I will not be putting in this that I normally would is jalapeno. I usually do about 6 tablespoons of jalapeno, but that would make it too spicy for the kids. So we're going to be leaving that out, but if you like spice, definitely add some jalapeno. I have chopped up 3 chicken thighs, and they've been sitting in half a cup of soy sauce. And then I have about, I don't know, it's a bunch of cilantro. Cilantro is one of those things though, if you like it, use as much as you want. If you don't like cilantro, since I know there are a lot of people that hate cilantro, don't use it, but I don't think it's going to have the same taste in this recipe if you leave it out. I also have a lime, garlic, heavy whipping cream, some onion powder, garlic powder, and then, of course, tequila. We're going to start with the pan that I'm doing my sauce in. I'm going to add 2 tablespoons-ish of garlic or jarlic. Obviously, if you want to use fresh is always best, but garlic is convenient. Now, I don't have chicken stock on me today, so usually you would do half a cup of chicken stock. I'm doing half a cup of water with some chicken bouillon in it. It's going to do the same thing. Butter in this pan has melted. So I'm gonna add in my chicken over here. That way that can start cooking through, as well as my peppers and onions. You can chop them fresh, but once again, I like the convenience of the frozen. So, and I also like that this has green, yellow, red bell peppers, and then the onions. So it's just really pretty. In this pan, I'm going to add my seasoning. So I'm going to use some garlic powder, some onion powder, and then some salt and pepper. I need my lime for the sauce. Whenever you are gonna juice a lime or a lemon, roll it on the counter or cutting board first before you slice it. It gets that juices loosened up before cutting it open. It just helps so much to do it now before you cut it. And then I'll cut that in half. And you add the juice of 1 full lime to your sauce. Otherwise, it's probably like a tablespoon or 2 if you're not using a fresh lime. I just like using the whole lime in it. You're also going to take most of your cilantro. I leave a little out for garnish, but most of it you're going to put into here. Like I said, this is a 1 full bunch from Walmart. It's just a whole thing of cilantro that I have sliced up. And about a shot of tequila. And yes, it's okay to feed this to your kids. Most of the alcohol will end up cooking off. You're just really using it to flavor it and everything. So 1 shot in an entire dinner is not going to have your kids sick or anything. So no need to worry about that. But I'm just gonna let this simmer down as the chicken and peppers and everything cook. It's boiling, so my noodle of choice when it comes to this is fettuccine. I love the flatter noodles with this to really soak up all the sauce and everything. But you can use what you have on hand if you have spaghetti noodles or whatnot. But if you can use fettuccine, highly recommend the fettuccine. Now that the chicken is fully cooked through, that is how long I simmer the sauce for. So the sauce can now go into the chicken. Give that a good mix. About half a cup of the heavy cream. And then we're just gonna let this simmer as the noodles cook. And I'm gonna show you what I do when you have littles that don't want the spice, but you still want the recipe as it should be. So once those noodles are cooked, I'll show you how I do it. That way I'm not making 2 meals, but I'm still getting it the way I want to eat it. Half the pasta is going to go back in here, and half the sauce is going to go in here. The rest of the pasta we're going to put in here and give all of it a really good mix. So this is going to be the one that I don't add any of the jalapenos for the kids, just the sauce and the noodles. And then this one, since it's for Bobby and I will add jalapenos to it. that a mix. All right, and then do about half a cup of Parmesan cheese. Plenty of residual heat. Mix it all together, and then I'll let this just sit for like 20 minutes off the heat. That way the sauce will thicken and everything will meld together. But you just want to make sure you cover it. That way it's not getting cold, it's just fully combining together. And then Bobby and my pasta. Like I said, this is a great way to not be making multiple meals. It's definitely something that we don't do in this house. I'm not a restaurant taking orders. But I also know there are certain things that the kids aren't as big of a fan of, like extra spice. So separating it out that way. Well, I really hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Everything turned out so good on this day. If you've never made tequila lime chicken, highly, highly recommend it. But don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you in my next one. Bye.